Well, it's great to be here again at Beaver Creek, and before we start, I just want to say thank you to the organizers. They always do such a great job here at this conference, so we're glad to be here again. I'll be talking about Vizsla Silver, of course. The company is traded on the New York Stock Exchange and the TSX-V under the ticker VZLA, and we are building the next world-class silver project here. I'll be making forward-looking statements. I certainly believe the best is yet to come for the company. We have a big vision. Our vision is to, first of all, achieve first silver in 2027, but it's also our vision to become the world's largest single-asset silver primary producer through the exploration and development of our Panuco district in Sinaloa, Mexico. We have the right team to do that. Our team is the most important asset, we like to say. I was a founder of the company. Shortly after listing, Craig Perry and Simon Smirlik joined as directors and Craig as chairman. You'd recognize Craig from successes like NextGen, Skeena Resources, and ISO Energy. He also had a long career at Rio Tinto and companies like Tiger's Realm Group in Australia. And Simon is the best person that we know of to take this project forward into production. Simon has been building mines for his entire career. He's built over 42 mines, or been involved in building over 42 mines during his career at Ausenco and his career prior. He's recently left the role at Ausenco to join us full-time, in addition to being a director as COO, and drive forward the development of this project. Interesting to note that the most recent build for Ausenco in Mexico was Silvercrest Las Chispas, which is very, very similar to what we're planning here. Jesus Velador is another person that's perfect for this company. Jesus' background is geology, but he has a doctorate in Mexican epithermal silver deposits just like ours. He was involved as the Fresnillo counterpart to the Meg Silver Juanicipio discovery. You know, he is kind of Mr. Silver epithermal veins in Mexico. And we have Eduardo Luna on our board as a director. Eduardo Luna, Mexican Mining Hall of Famer, really a luminary in the mining space. His wisdom, his experience is so helpful for us as we move forward in this project here. Probably one of the best known people in the Mexican mining industry. So we have a tier one silver development project, but we have tremendous growth potential as well. We're fast tracking to production. We expect a feasibility study in the second half of next year, followed by a construction decision, with first silver expected for second half 2027. We're well funded. We have $37 million plus in cash, another $18 million in the money warrants. We have zero debt, and we're carried through to that feasibility study. And we're actively de-risking the project as we speak. We're doing ongoing conversion drilling at 25-meter centers at Copala for our initial reserve development, as well as bulk sample test mining plan for the end of the year here, which is an incredible de-risking plan and technique for us, and we're really looking forward to getting underground here at the project. In addition to what we call Project One, which is our PEA area, this tremendous exploration upside continues to grow here at this project. We're growing our land package. We've tripled the land package in 2024 at very low cost to the company. We're basically building a multi-generational pipeline of assets in what we refer to as a frontier silver belt here. So really an incredible thing to do to triple the land package. We have significant upside. We barely scratched the surface when it comes to exploration. Really, we've drilled less than 10% of the known veins in the district. We've hardly mapped the project. Less than 70% is mapped here. And we're undertaking other work like district-wide geophysics. And as we do this, we're de-risking the project further through what we refer to as regenerative mining, which means that we invest locally, we put community first, and through this collaboration, we've secured multiple 30-year operating agreements with all 5 local ejidos. And we've become a leader in ESG and sustainability, certainly in Mexico, but also in Sinaloa, the state that we operate in. And we've been recognized for sustainability efforts and awarded socially responsible company designations. Now, the project sits here in, as I said, Sinaloa, Mexico, about an hour outside of the city of Mazatlan. Mazatlan's a city that has direct flights most of the year from WestJet, from Vancouver and Calgary and Edmonton. It's very accessible. In addition to the hotels and the touristic economy there in Mazatlan, there's also industry that includes a port, railway. Highway 40D comes from Mazatlan and goes to Durango, and it cuts our property in half. As a result of that, we've had excellent infrastructure on this property. And we're the company that actually came in here and consolidated this in the first place. This was done in 2019. And by doing that, it's giving us a chance to own now 100% this district, which is a large-scale district, very high-grade district. And we're the only company that's ever been able to systematically explore this district. And we're doing this for the first time with modern techniques. And this is in an area that is underexplored despite its proximity to the San Dimas mine. And the San Dimas mine is one of the great billion-ounce districts in Mexico. There are 8 billion-ounce districts in Mexico, 14 in the world. We endeavor to become the 9th in Mexico and the 15th in the world. And the proximity to San Dimas and the analogs between Panuco and San Dimas, I think, are important when we say these types of things. Infrastructure is incredible. High tension power runs through the property directly over the mill site that we've selected here. We have water, we have roads, we have proximity to communities like Mazatlan and Concordia with excellent workforce. We're even close to the city of Durango, which is a couple hours away. And we've drilled 375,000 meters here at this project. We've done all of this without ever having to build a road. So that speaks to that infrastructure. And as a result, in the last 5 years, we've drilled off the world's largest undeveloped high-grade silver primary resource here. And we're advancing that towards production, updating the reserves, updating the resources to higher confidence categories, test mining and targeting first silver in 2027. And again, very well funded to do this. Now, we have industry-leading mine economics. We prioritized early significant cash flow. And as you can see here, in after-tax free cash flow here, the first 2 years, we're talking well over $200 million US in free cash flow. That means that we have excellent economics here, post-tax economics of $1.1 billion NPV, 86% IRR, which is incredible. But even more important than that is the 9-month payback here, so less than a year payback. This makes us stand out amongst really any of our peers here. It's really quite incredible, these economics. And as a result, we have an NPV to CapEx ratio that's certainly industry-leading as well, at 5.1 times. Now, we can look at the sensitivities here, and you could say, okay, well, $40 silver, $50, $100 silver, what does it look like? And they're obviously going to be great numbers. But I think what's important is the sensitivities to lower prices is what set us apart here. We have an ASIC sub $10. You'd have to cut the metal prices in half here and then some to see us to lose money in this situation here. Now, everyone has one of these charts, I guess, in our space here, and everyone kind of says that where they are on the chart is the best. But I do think what you really want to do is maximize your return on investment here, which means you want to maximize your NPV versus your CapEx, and that's exactly what we've done here. In this scenario, we're really industry leading in the top left here at 5.1 times NPV to CapEx. It's exactly where you want to be, low cost, high yield. And we call it Project One because we think we're going to have more projects within this map that you see here. There's other centers of mass to be discovered. This is just Project One. It's the one that we got to first. It's, of course, very high grade and an excellent deposit. And it's based on a very high grade and large resource. But really what we're looking at here is conventional mining and conventional processing. We're doing a mix of long hole and drift and fill, but it's primarily long hole as our mining method. We're talking about a 330 ton per day operation, 1 million tons per annum, but that expands to 4,000 tons per day in year 4. Whole ore leach, we're producing a doré. And initial CapEx that's sub 225 million, 224 million US. And that's, a lot of people come out with PEAs and they're kind of dream sheets. This is more like a PFS. We're very kind of comfortable with these numbers here, and we've added a lot of conservatism into that CapEx there. This results in an 11-year mine life, less than $80 unit OPEX, and sub $10 ASIC, $9.40. The first 2 years is actually less than $8 ASIC. Now, this is a layout of the project. You can see the spatial distribution of the maps here. Napoleon in the west, Copala to the east of Napoleon. What I'll point out here, if I can, is that's the entrance there to the Copala portal. That's where we're going to start our test mine later this year. These yellow things are power lines running over the property here. We do endeavor to become the mine that no one really sees or hears because it's going to be out of sight and out of way from these highways and from these communities, including the tailings facility to the east there. This gives you a good idea of the mining scenario and really just that high-grade nature of these ore bodies. Again, purple 600, very near surface, very easy to access in early years here, leading to that immense cash flow in this first few years. Now, we are slated to become a top 5 silver producer with bottom quartile AISC, and that's actually worth repeating. Top 5 silver producer with bottom quartile AISC. This is really impressive here. In the first 2 years, 20.2 million ounces of high-grade production at an AISC of $7.20, and that puts us next to Fresnillo's major mines, really unlike anything else held in an independent company. So we have a number of catalysts coming over the next 12 months. The biggest one, the one that we're the most excited about, certainly the test mine. You know, we want to get underground, we want to see the vein, we want to reconcile this, we want to de-risk the project. You know, oftentimes underground mines fail because people try to start up and cash starved and start up an underground mine at the same time as starting up a mill. And, you know, each of those have their own problems, so it's better to decouple that, and that's what we're planning on doing here. And we're permitted for that. So people often ask, I'm sure I'll get a question if there's enough time about permitting in Mexico, but we've been successful with our permits all the way here. We've permitted 300 drill pads. We've permitted this test mine here at Copala that will start at the end of the year. And what we want to do is bring enough material above surface here that we de-risk the startup of the mine. We're not going to process it in a third-party mill for cash flow. We're going to have that as a stockpile to offset risk. We're going to continue to optimize metallurgy going forward. We're going to update our mineral resource estimate later this year. So we have expanded our resources. We're looking forward to upgrading M&I resources to support feasibility and announce that to the market. And this is all going into the feasibility study, which is mid-2025. That's going to be a great document. That's going to allow us to access debt financing as well, which is very important. And not to be understated, this, you know, again, project one is one thing, but this district exploration is very important. We have, you know, an immense amount of targets that are very easily accessible throughout this district. We've budgeted 10,000 meters of purely discovery drilling that's happening very shortly here. And we're doing other techniques, modern techniques like electromagnetics, and then also just old school prospecting across the district. So the ability or the potential for Vizsla to go and make new discoveries, new centers of mass, I would say is very high. And the best part is they're all road access too, so it makes it a bit easier. Some of our infill drilling recently, actually all of our infill drilling has been excellent, but some of it has been really eye-watering here. I'll draw your eyes to the first box here, 4.2 meters at 8.8 kilograms silver equivalent. That's 3 ounces of gold equivalent for gold people. But we also have wider intercepts there, 10.9 meters, 890 grams silver equivalent, and then 10.5 meters at over 1.1 kilos. So, you know, this is outboard of that existing resource. It's drawing that resource up closer to surface. What I'll do here, just in the interest of time, is just quickly mention here again, to reiterate, we are doing the test mine, we are doing the updated resource feasibility study and targeting first silver. And we are actively exploring this district here as we do this. And that's what really sets us apart, exploration and development here. Again, project one in the west, there's going to be an immense amount of, there's a huge amount of potential to find new veins next to Copala, next to Napoleon. We have veins like La Luisa or veins like El Molino that we've found doing condemnation drilling for our mill. And we found a nice vein with very high grade material there almost accidentally. But we're also excited about drilling Camellia San Dimas here in the east. And each of these circles represent areas that we feel that could become other centers of mass in this district. We've added to the land package, we've tripled it. We've bought La Garra to the north, which has never been drilled. It has 2 kilometer veins running north-south. They remind us a heck of a lot of Panuco. And we've expanded the package to the south as well. Can I keep going for a few? Just wrap it up. Okay. And so we have really, I think what the important thing is here, we trade at about a 450, 500 million US market cap right now. I believe that that's criminally severely undervalued. I think it should be much higher. If you look at recent transactions in the space, you know, that excellent deal that Gatos and First Majestic did, you know, the PNAVs for quality producers are much higher than 1 times. You know, we're trading around 1.6 right now, so it really encourages us on behalf of the shareholder to drive this forward, de-risk it, drive it into production, and maximize the value for this large resource here. And that's my time.
Thanks, Mark.
Okay, thank you.
Great, thank you.